So we're going to move right along to our listener questions here, gentlemen. We got a few that came in. One of them is like a getting down to business serious one. And then the other three I got from some of our buddies that I thought were too funny to leave out. So the first one, we're going to do the serious one and get that one out of the way. This one is actually by another fella who has a really good first name. It's Travis. So on Twitter, he goes by Trav, and his Twitter handle is at benchmob21. So shout out to him. I believe he is a Canadian as well, so represent. So Jax, let's start with you here. Could you answer some hypotheticals about why people are sleeping on Jarvis Landry?
It doesn't have to be hypothetical, because I've been sleeping on him a little bit too much probably in the past as well. And I think, he's unsexy in the fact that he's a target monster and doesn't really put up big plays, but he's been so good at that one thing that he's kind of won by attrition. And now all of a sudden you got a guy that is, he's just every single year he gets 120 plus targets every single year, and he's catching a high percentage of those, not for a ton of yards, and he'll sneak in some high touchdown variants actually. He's just a heck of a good player, and for those who have been sleeping, probably shouldn't be, especially this year. I mean, Trav, you have where's he going in redraft? Do you have that handy or no?
I do. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah,
here.
so
wide receiver 29.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, like,
bam.
Was it?
Was that? No, I don't know. He was so confident that I have to trust it.
Oh no, I'm sure it's probably right, but he did not look. But look, at the end of the day, where he's going,
he is wide receiver 29. Nice, Stoner.
I may have. I mean, I am in the middle of the draft, so I may have recalled his total ADP, and it was definitely a guess on the number, but I'm sure I saw it before and just recalled it.
I think it speaks to his sage ways. Stoner is just magical,
I'm a fountain of useless information, gentlemen.
I've learned this. I've played it now a few leagues with him, and I just watch him do things, and it's like the league just kind of comes to him. He doesn't, he's unbelievable. So, but it's true. I think, if I can toot our horn real quick, the Undroppables, if there's one thing that we do, is we all are damn good players, and we kind of put ourselves through the grinder. We have, a 16-team league. We have a 12-team league. We have a number of leagues where we're putting even the contributors who aren't really expected to talk about fantasy football. We make sure that they know what the hell they're doing, and and we will roast them if they're not, and we'll hey, it's there are different
group
opinions,
chat
but,
no fun some days, man.
Right? But I think that's that accountability, and we don't have groupthink. We don't, man. We challenge one another, and I love that too. I love that it's not all the same voice. I love having different points of view, and I'm able to learn from that, so it's a lot of fun. And Stoner is one hell of a dynasty fantasy football player, and fantasy football player for that matter. But not just a guy talking about it. He will walk the walk. You put him in a league, he's ready to go.
100%.
I just consume it all from everyone. I mean, you learn a lot from just being in those group chats. I can't tell you how much I've learned in 2 years. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But don't fade Jarvis Landry is the answer. He's WR29, and I have no problem reaching for him. I've reached for him a few times, especially in the right league, because you know exactly what you're going to get. And so when I actually will queue him up a little bit this offseason, I've done it so much that I feel like he's undervalued in every ADP. So I kind of queue him up, and I want to make sure that if he's going to be coming up this round, I'll take him late in the round right before. I want to lock him up because I think he's a great value there. And sometimes we all draft via ADP. We don't all draft by our rankings. I mean, in other words, I don't have to take Zach Moss at RB 34. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and roster construction too, right?
I'm just not going to take him there. You don't have to. I can wait till RB 40 or whatever. I can wait for a few others to go and if someone reaches past me, and takes him at RB 33, God bless you. But the fact of the matter is that you don't have to reach for players that you're higher than consensus on. You just have to make sure you get them. And I've been doing that with Jarvis Landry all off season. I'm surprised to say it because I've been fading him in the past. So. I'm a convert there. What's his name? Trav?
T-Rav, yeah.
T-Rav.
21, yeah.
My dude. I jumped all over Landry in the Scott Fishbowl as well. He's I guess he's my third. I got Hopkins, Juju, and Landry would be my wide receiver 3. And he just kept dropping, and it was one of those things. Like, I hadn't planned on him being there for me to take as my third receiver.
For sure.
But, I mean, do you take him, who is clearly a wide receiver, a top 30 receiver, or do you reach for a running back that might not help you as much? I incidentally Zach Moss later on.
We have a very similar team. I have Godwin, Juju, and then Keenan Allen fell to me the way that Jarvis Landry fell to you. It was just like, I guess I'll take Keenan Allen here in the 7th or 8th round or whatever it was. I was like, great. Mm-hmm. So it's the same type of thing. Yeah, you just find the value where it's at. Obviously the fishbowl is a little bit different than a regular draft because it's first of all, there's a lot of sharks, a lot of great competitors, but also the scoring system completely moves tight ends and quarterbacks way up. And so now you've got you can't just sit back and, it's no 10, 12 team redraft league. It's a hell of it's a gauntlet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was in the very league too, so I was playing with
I'm a big fan of Jarvis Landry. I've got him on a bunch of teams, and just like you said, Stoner, as a wide receiver 3 on your roster, that's just easy money. I think for me, the perception that people have as to why they're fading him is A, the Stefanski offense is going to be lower passing volume. B, people are expecting the Odell surge, and they're kind of unsure as to whether Landry can uphold that value with Odell surging. And then it's the backfield and Kareem Hunt's target share as well. But I'm not necessarily worried about that stuff because I think Landry's role is defined, and we've seen him used in a way more versatile way in Cleveland than we ever saw him used in Miami. And you can see that. And I think Baker trusts him a lot. So I'm not too worried about Jarvis.
He was a wide receiver 1 last year. He finished number 12 PPR, right? I mean, Baker likes that dude. He trusts him. I think he's big, like Jack said, play action, coming across the field and catching some of those balls. I mean, Landry is that dude. I think some people are hesitant because of the injury as well. And now they're even freaking out more because he's starting on the pup. But all the talk is he's going to play and be ready to go week 1. So I'm ready to plug him and play him consistently and confidently every week, like I have for the last X number of years. Every time I can get him,
totally.
I want him.
All right, let's hear these funny ones.
Yeah, these funny. This is not much more fantasy. We're just gonna get some laughs out of this one. I thought these were absolutely hilarious. So we're gonna start with our buddy Paulie. That's Uncle Paulie, the fantasy community's favorite uncle. You can find him at Paulie's Sleepers. I told him that I call him that too. For some reason, I just feel like Paulie is like the community's uncle.
Very criminal, and I should keep my children away from Uncle Paulie.
Completely fair take.
I know that's not Paulie, though. So
no.
Tell me what Mr. Sleepers has to say.
Yeah, so he has a question for each of you, one separate. So Stoner, we're going to start with you. How much weed do you smoke on an average week?
That's a tough question.
All of it?
Yeah. I would say it's probably 7 to 10 grams in different forms. I mean, I haven't really kept track, but I would say it's probably about that.
Right around a quarter.
Yeah.
Jax, how about you, brother?
I got 2 kids, so I got to be high all the time just to make sure I tolerate that shit. So, as much as possible, but I never have time for that because I'm always chasing them around. So it's really a conundrum for me,
Totally.
I've never even thought about it. I mean, I just will say that, Stoner and I have been acting like weed is legal for our entire lives. So next question.
Totally.
I know. I remember that age, though. I remember that young age, and
totally.
You had to take it. You had to take it when you can get it. It wasn't. But mine are older, so it's fine now.
Yeah, I will say something interesting in my opinion is that, like, imagine this next generation. I mean, our introduction to weed growing up was like it's a bad thing, and like you're gonna get in trouble and arrested and all this other stuff, and just say no. I mean, all these ridiculous things. Whereas now it's like, if you're a parent, you just go, oh, hey, we're going to stop by the supermarket and the weed store. We'll be right home. And the kids come with you and shit. And like, it's like picking up a 6-pack. Their introduction to it and their reality and assumptions around it are going to be totally different, which of course is fantastic.
I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
The eventual ultimate legality will be what leads to world peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. For sure. I'm a lightweight these days.
Hot take right there.
I'm definitely a lightweight compared to where I once was. The kids factor too, Jax. I've got 3. So I'm more of like a low volume, steady baked kind of guy. So I just keep it steady and I keep it low volume because I can't be getting wild baked anymore.
Not
the young man I once was, but it's always steady. It's always
right. You
steady.
can't be sitting there wondering what's going on when you got 3 kids. You kind of have to know what the hell's happening. So fair.
Yeah. Just
Although
have a
look at
couple
Stoner's
rips
like,
and then I'm back in.
they're resilient.
Yeah, mine are all 5 and under though.
I've tried both sides. Let's just say that.
Oh, I've tried them both too.
And they live. They survive.
All right, Jax. Paulie's question for you, and I know you guys have a common occupation, I believe.
Yeah.
Paulie wants to know what your favorite all-time BMW is.
Paulie got a nice 6 Series Grand Coupe. That's a great car. It's a beautiful car. It's a tough question. I was giving it some thought, and right now, if you're just gonna give me a car, and I get to have a brand new car, it would be a 2021 BMW M8 Grand Coupe.
M Series are nice.
M8 competition Grand Coupe. I mean, just look up that car. If that doesn't do it for you, then I'm sorry, I don't know what does. Especially it's got the back seat for the kids, so I can make it happen. But if you go back, like probably a 2001 7 Series 740 IL. Sport was a great car, legendary car. It's worth nothing. You can pick them up for cheap, and it's gonna appreciate now. So that's a good car to go buy if you're investing in cars.
That's beautiful.
Find a Cherry 01.
Nice. Yeah, and anybody who is in Jax or Paulie's area, if you're looking for a BMW, go and see these guys.
I have seen Paulie's car. It's very nice, dude. He did a fantastic job choosing that one.
Yeah. I would have guessed that Paulie drives a slick Beamer, so that's completely reasonable in my perception of Paulie's life. You know what I'm saying? So another one. This is a complete troll job from our buddy Beezy. We love him.
Oh,
yeah. He knew exactly what he was doing with this one. He said, "Jax, which rookie do you think could be a bust, and why? Is it Zach Moss?" Just boo boo, shots fired.
He's just bitter.
Oh, Stoner, just you wait, buddy.
He's just bitter about David Montgomery. That's the only reason he's shooting shots.
Preach.
He's just hoping and praying that Jump Cut Monty is able to do something more than dance around behind the line this year and actually gain some yards and do something. He's literally praying. And it's possible. I mean, he might accelerate to what is the fastest guy, 21, 22 miles an hour. He'll get up to 12, 13 miles an hour and fall forward for 4 or 5 yards a pop. It might happen. Look, with Zach Moss, he could fall in his face.
But he's got Saquon's thighs.
Yeah. The meme forever. I don't know if you saw this, Trav, ESPN during the draft. They had David Montgomery, and they said, like, the vision of Marshall Faulk,
the best running backs.
Barry Sanders, this, and like Saquon Barkley's strength. You're like, get the fuck out of here. So I mean, absolute nonsense. So, but in any event, I mean, of course, it's a troll job by Beezy. He's the best at it. He's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, he is literally a laugh a minute. This dude is one of the funniest guys to be online with because GIF mastery or GIF, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know. I'm an old man. What do I know? But
hard G. It's a GIF.
Yeah, it's a GIF. Okay,
peanut butter, bro.
He's a master. I mean, he just is so fucking funny. So he's great. And look, at running back 34 in redraft, I'm not so sure Zach Moss is a thing either. So he's right.
That's fair. Yeah, I totally agree with you that David Montgomery never broke a tackle that he ran away from, for sure.
Montgomery has he's got the athleticism of Sony Michel.
Right now.
According to that graphic, he had it said too.
And the speed of Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stoner, this one's for you. So you're not getting off easy on this one either. With the signing of
George Kittle,
of Jordan Reed, do you think George Kittle loses any value in 2020? I'm going to say that's probably a quick answer.
The answer is no.
Okay, and
he actually
question Beezy.
Yeah,
he gets value.
Well played, Beezy. We love you, buddy. This other one was hilarious. Okay, so this is from our buddy AWL Sabermetrics. Let me just find the tweet here. Sorry, boys, I had it.
He's an East Coast prick like me. I mean, he's fantastic.
Oh, we love him. He's funny, man. If anybody hasn't heard, I call him All. I just say AWL spells all to me, so I just call him All. But yeah, his Canadian accent is top freaking notch, man. I love when he drops those Canadian accent videos in the group chat. So for Stoner, he says, "What color is a mirror?"
That's an interesting question.
I have an answer on this one, actually.
The answer, there's actually two answers to that question.
Hit me.
A perfect mirror, I think, is considered to be white because it reflects all color.
Okay.
But I think most mirrors are green. Somehow or another, they're green, and I don't know the science behind it.
Of course, you think they're green.
They're not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that mirrors are green or white.
Stoner walks around seeing green everywhere. So mirrors are green, cows are green, zebras are green, refrigerators are green, everything's green.
The guy I hate that is green is the Eagles. I mean,
see, fucking Stoner.
Hey, can I answer his question? Is it black? Is it black because you take a piece of glass, you paint the back black, you got a mirror?
Okay. See, I think it's silver because I think it's like a really reflective silver piece behind glass is my opinion of a mirror. And so I think like, you walk past some foil and you can kind of see a little bit of a reflection. It's like
ask what color foil was.
It's like a 1080p version of that. You know what I mean?
If you walk past a foil, when have you walked past foil? This thing is off the rails walking past.
Think about like air ducts or something like that. I've been seeing a little bit of green too, boys, so cut me some slack here, okay? Also, when I'm looking in the mirror, it's always rose-colored.
Because
you're Canadian or because you're good-looking?
Because I'm beautiful.
Okay.
No, because I'm Canadian. I'll take that one for sure.
Well, hold on, but why are your mirrors made of empty soda cans?
Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Duh. Okay, and Jax, the last question from our buddy and he is at AWL Sabermetrics. Jax,
and doesn't he have a first name?
Don't say it. Jax,
right?
It is, yes. Is cereal a soup? This might be the most disgusting take I've ever heard, or disgusting listener question I've ever heard. Is cereal a soup?
I mean, I've been giving this a lot of thought. And if you eat your cereal with like bone broth, then yes.
So it's not a soup then, is what you're saying.
It might be a soup, is what I'm saying. I don't know. You're going to have to give me more information. This guy left a lot to be desired. I mean, is all cereal? No, cereal in its purest form is like a grain. It's fucking cereal, all right? Mm-hmm. Now, he's obviously assuming that we're putting it in some liquid and it's going to be a soup-like product. But he hasn't told me how he does it. Does he put sugar? Does he put anything?
Milk.
I mean, I don't know.
Do you leave it sit out in the sun or sit out to get soggy?
Yeah, I mean, it's like Friday. Maybe put some water on that shit. I don't know.
Stop the conversation.
Yes, sir.
What the fuck are you guys doing in Canada with your cereal, sitting it out in the sun?
No, see, that's actually just a weird memory from when I was a kid where somebody said that like they saw a really gross bowl of cereal because they left it out in their backyard because they were eating their cereal at the picnic table. No idea where that came from. Not a Canadian thing. Just a weird thing I remembered. Somebody said that one of the grossest things they ever saw was cereal that sat out in the sun.
You might want to revisit that next week in therapy.
There's lots of weird shit that happens up here, dude. I can't control it.
God, all right. Look, do not leave your cereal sitting out in the sun so it can get soggy.
Yeah,
then it becomes a soup.
Yeah.
Then it becomes a soup.
All right, boys. Before we ride out here, on the cereal note, Stoner, give me your favorite kind of cereal.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Love it. Jax, where you at?
Shit. I mean,
I also like the Reese's Puffs.
So here's the thing. For me, it was a no-brainer, no doubt, Fruity Pebbles growing up. Absolutely no question. I'm also not a child anymore, so it's not now my favorite cereal. So it's a difficult way to talk about. He's 100
years old, so he eats grape nuts.
Grape nuts. I like a good grape nut. Just a good grape nut with a little bit of water. No, I think
total.
I think for me it was easily Fruity Pebbles. I got Fruity Pebbles for my kids, and I was like so excited because I hadn't had it in 20 years or who knows how long since and it was all right. It was all right. It's fine.
Nice.
I mean,
I like
I'm
that.
going through them all. I'm retrying them all, like all the Frankenberry. I used to love Frankenberry and Blueberry and Count Chocula, Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms. All that shit was great growing up.
I love that, boys. Fruit Loops was my jam as a kid. Always was a Fruit Loops kid. Gotta go with you, Stoner. The best when you boil down to the flavor is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You don't fuck with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. As an adult though, I gotta say, I don't mind like your Harvest Crunch types with a little bit of granola in there, maybe, and some almonds and shit. I'm totally down for that. I think maybe it just kind of feels like more of a meal. It feels like more of a meal.
Don't judge him, Stoner. You can use, if you guys saw Stoner's face. I mean, when he said these, he's Canadian. It's okay.
Whatever, man. We're allowed to like whatever cereals we want, fellas. It's okay.
Well, you have freedom in Canada. It's way different.
True that. True that. Yeah. And on that note, fellas, I think we just recorded a dynamite episode. So I want to thank the boys for being here. Stoner, really appreciate it. It was so good to finally have you on. Jax, same goes to you, man. So Stoner, why don't you tell them where they can find you and just let us know a little bit about the Undroppables and where they're shooting to.
Man, at the Undroppables is where you find everyone at the Undroppables. We're always sharing everyone's articles and content, and I think there's a tweet somewhere listed in there that has everyone's name. I'm sure we can put one out sometime soon so everyone knows, because there's like 17 people, and I'm sure as hell not going to list them all now. Yeah, at Fantasy FB Stoner. I float around. I'm here and there. Some days I disappear. Some days real life keeps me busy, and some days I just lay in bed and tweet dumb shit all day. So hit me up in the DMs, ladies. I'm single. That's about it, man. And any more questions, you know where to come to find the answers.
Nice. Hey, I must say that if one comes out of the woodwork, you will not be disappointed with a Canadian lady hitting your DM, Stoner. So definitely, we have beautiful people up here, and that definitely extends to the females. So we love them. Jax, let the people know where they can find you.
Can I get one of those green cards? Can I get one of them Canadian green cards? Hell out of here.
We'll have to talk about that later, my man.
See, even the cards are green, this guy.
All right, Jax, where...
Circle it back.
I mean, geez,
where can they find you, and what cookie jars do you got your fingers in, my man?
So easy follow. The name is Jax Falcone. I'm at Dino Game Theory. It's kind of what I do a little bit, is talk about the game theory and all that sort of stuff. But I'm mostly just trolling everybody online is what I do. So, all day long. But it's I will say one thing real quick, and for the 4 people who have been able to hang on for this long ass podcast and are still listening. Listen, Tom, John, whatever 4 people are still watching. George is watching. Yep. Hey, which George? What terms always asking which George? But anyway, listen. You and Ty do an outstanding job. I mean that. It's like I think you guys do a great pod. I think you guys are normally succinct and. Except when we're here, obviously. But no, you guys really do a great. Yeah. Hey, you have Stoner here. It's going to get a little out of pocket. That's how it goes. You invited his ass. That's on you. I'm a little long-winded, so together we are, a little extended version. But in more ways than one. Sorry. But, at the end of the day, I think you guys do a great job, and I want to say that. But, we're doing a lot of cool stuff at the Undroppables. We have a lot of stuff coming out. I'd love for y'all to go and check out, Unscripted. That pod is doing great. It's only the 8th episode is hit. The guys are kind of finding their groove, and they're just really fun to listen to. They're really smart. And Beezy's like, you just want to reach in the radio and give him a hug all the time because you're like, that dude's fucking great. Not that you don't want to hug the other guys, but probably don't hug them. Maybe a high five, but Beezy's a hug. They're just doing a great job. We got some other cool stuff coming on the site.
Social distancing.
The site is can'tcutlist.com. So, it's attached to everybody's, Twitter. So just go to the site. There's actually a lot of cool stuff coming on the site. We're working on some stuff that's going to hopefully be really helpful to fantasy players in terms of, future values and things like that. Just some tools that we think.
Up now, there's breakdowns, there's team breakdowns, there's injury breakdowns and different articles and such like that. Rankings, I haven't really done mine, but everybody else has.
On brand.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it's true. I mean, rankings, it's true.
I think I ranked my first 3 or 5 players. Like,
rankings are more of a grind than they seem, though, boys. I will say
Yes.
that. Grinding out some rankings is more work than what it might seem.
That's right. And I'm actually the lead ranker there in terms of trying to keep everybody going on it. So it's a lot of work. You're right. I mean, not only doing my own, but getting everybody else to do theirs and then doing everything else we're doing. And sometimes when you're doing other things, I know my rankings are not accurate right this second.
Yeah.
But they're pretty fucking good. But there's a few things I would tweak, and it's a constant tweak. But I would also say with ranks, any player, any fantasy player should do their best to try and do their own rankings.
Totally.
However you can, and because it's so helpful to know what you think going into a draft as opposed to being on the clock going, shit. I mean, you like to look back. Yeah, go for it.
I will say on that note that I find it easier to rank positionally than overall, and I
100%.
think that's why
100%.
That's why I've been dragging on those rankings.
Oh, they're brutal. Put them, mesh them.
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
it
if you're going to make do your rankings by position, and then you learn and figure out how you want to tier that out, and then that'll help you drafting. Don't draft a tier 4 running back when there's a tier 2 receiver still.
For sure.
Yeah, and even though we have overall rankings at the site, probably more value to look at individual, which we have the tabs. And I think that's probably the truth on any ranking service, quite frankly, is to look positionally and make your own assertion about what's more valuable in your league, a running back or a tight end, or because scoring settings and all this sort of thing. I was listening to you guys, actually, Trav and Ty, talking about Cam Newton and where you had him. I think you had him at QB 14 at the time. This was a couple weeks ago, whatever. But the fact of the matter is like, I was thinking that whole time while you guys were talking, I was like, what depends on the scoring? In a 6-point touchdown, maybe Cam Newton is, less valuable because he gets a little bit of his, juice from the ground, whether it be rushing touchdowns or rushing yards. Whereas in a 4-point touchdown, it's like, well, he's a little bit stronger there. So sometimes you have to use the nuance and understand what you're drafting and what league you're in and what's going on. And that's why they're still a guide at the end of the day. They're not perfect, even if they're perfect like mine.
Yeah, use your gut, man. Don't forget to use your own gut.
And one note on that, boys, is sorry to cut you off there, Stoner. With our rankings,
you're gonna have to do it at some point.
You have way more often.
You guys rank on the same platform that we do on the Fantasy Pros Expert platform, and I think it's money to have on your site. With that, it allows you to download the CSV file. So if anybody wants to make their own rankings, they can download the file from either of our sites' rankings, and then you can put that into a spreadsheet, and you can shift those guys around how you would like to rank. So that's a huge tool for going into drafts, is to tweak somebody else, let somebody else do the work, and then just tweak it for yourself. Both of our sites have done that, and I definitely encourage anybody to go to the Undroppables site, because personally, like, I'm friends with a lot of you guys. I've had a lot of good conversations with a lot of you guys, and to me, I think our groups are very intertwined in that, all of our team knows that we love working with the Undroppables. We promote your guys' stuff, and you're all good people. But the key factor is that you guys are good people, and I think I definitely think that our team is a bunch of good people, and I think good people gravitate to good people. So definitely, as much as I appreciate your guys' fantasy advice, I appreciate your guys' friendship even more so, and that extends to the whole Undroppables team. So thank you guys for that, and it's been just a pleasure getting you guys
Canadians, they're so nice. I mean, it's
Yeah,
how did that make you feel, Stoner?
I might need a tissue. Yeah, I might cry a little. Yeah, I'm just warm and fuzzy inside. That's all.
So nice. It made my green heart grow 3 sizes today.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna ride out on that, Stoner. That was a beautiful way. So follow me at TCO14. Go to the site at TrueNorthFFB.com. Follow the crew at TrueNorthFFB, and we hope you enjoyed the content. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. And this is going to be happening again 100%. So thanks again for joining me, fellas, and we'll talk soon. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.